All right, let me get a little. There we go. A little bit more presentable. Look at this guy.
Bro went Cuban.
There we go. There we
he
go.
got some bedazzles on the joint. Ah.
Jayden is definitely putting himself in a position to win the Offensive Rookie of the Year.
The Hail Mary. What was that like?
And it was just this amazing moment where I guess he caught it. Let's go.
Y'all run it down. Look at the jumbotron. Yeah. Welcome back, beautiful people. We back on Air It Out. I'm your host, as always, AJ Greene, back in the stew. My boy Justin Pugh.
We had a little week off, man. You're traveling a little bit. You're making your way around. I was in Philadelphia. We saw our guy Saquon.
Yep, doing his thing as always.
Now, we were competing with the election. We thought, maybe that week Saquon's video popped off.
Had to have it.
Popped off.
Hey, shout out to y'all too. That's the shares, the comments, the loves, the DMs. That's the love right there. All right, now, it's that time. See the screen, start bench cut. And what did I tell you last time? When you cut Schmitty, they was going to get you, and y'all did y'all job. Y'all was in the comments frying him. Don't mess it up this week, because we got a hard one this week.
Yeah, my start bench cut's not looking good.
No, bro.
My receiver takes in general have been bad.
Well, don't worry about it, because we're not doing receivers
Remember
this week.
Scary Terry and DJ Moore, and then Schmitty. Garrett Wilson doesn't look real good right now.
Well,
Puka actually looked good yesterday, so maybe I wasn't too far off.
Well, this episode, we're going close to your wheelhouse. This is the person you got to protect. We're talking quarterbacks. And this is a tough lineup. You ready?
Yes.
Justin Herbert, Joe Burrow, Jalen Hurts.
Ooh.
JJJ.
Ooh.
Start bench cut. JJJ. What we doing?
All right, I am starting Joe Burrow. He has done it. He's gone out there and done it all. I am benching Jalen, and I'm cutting Herbert. And that's crazy because after watching the games last night, you think you want to keep Herbert on the squad. I just think if I was starting a team from scratch and I just had these quarterbacks like Joe Burrow, he puts the Bengals on his back.
Yeah.
Jalen's been amazing this year, but he's got Saquon, AJ, Devontae Smith, who I learned last week the hard way, had one of the best defenses.
But we're on the same page with Justin. Love you, Justin. Shout out Justin Herbert and all that. But you're out of there. All right. Jalen Hurts my number one for sure.
But for sure, Jalen's got a better setup, better organization, better everything.
He's a better player. I don't care.
I disagree. He's a better player.
Shit, me. Taking that. Got to have that. I'm going to leave it alone, though, because that's fair. Feel me? Between Joe and Jalen, that's a fair one. So I'm not going to send the boys on you this week. That's fair. Now, if you would have came out and said, I'm starting Justin and cutting Jalen, we might have had a problem.
I couldn't do it. But would you take anyone else out there? Would Jordan Love make it in there from that 2020? And Tua definitely not.
No. I don't think he's good. If this was start, bench, cut, undrafted, walk on, come on. Tua, you see what he's... No, I love all of them. You know what I'm saying? They're all great players.
I won't be as hectic in the comments this time, but let us know if we missed anything. Let us also know, would you put Jordan Love in there? I don't know. Jordan Love might be able to sneak in there.
No. Just because he got a J, he can't sneak in there.
All right, what's the first game you liked?
Liked? Okay, so I didn't necessarily like this game, but I'm going to talk about it because I don't know where else I would talk about it. The Steelers-Ravens game. So I didn't get to see the actual game because I was on the plane. But I'm just on Instagram, Justin Tucker missed. I'm like, dang, Justin Tucker missed again. I'm like, bro.
I thought it was just a replay of him missing the first one. When he missed the second one, I was like, what is going on right now? It felt like it was destined to be the Steelers win these games, and you have no idea how they win it. They don't score a touchdown the entire game. Russell Wilson had his worst game of the year, and they still win.
And they win the game.
A couple of the craziest picks and interception and turnovers I've ever seen. Derrick Henry's first time fumbling in 4 years.
Yes. I feel like that was Justin Tucker's career high of missing.
The interception that Logan Wilson, the linebacker from the Steelers, had, he, as the guy's going to the ground, rips the ball out. It was this close from being down by contact. That stands. Patrick Queen, former Baltimore Raven, rips the ball out from Isaiah Likely, gets a turnover. The Steelers never put it away. They let the Ravens stick around. And Lamar Jackson drove down the field, tied the game up.
A couple times.
Well, a couple times, but to tie the game up, and then they missed the 2-point conversion where they didn't have a play drawn up. You see Isaiah Likely and one of the receivers arguing before the play, and they both clearly don't know what they're doing because Lamar rolls out left and both of them went right. And I'm just like, the most important play of the game, out of a timeout, the Ravens screwed it up. So that is my one concern with the Ravens is the Ravens. The Ravens are their biggest enemy.
Finish.
All right, the game, I know that one wasn't the most exciting game in the world, but you know what game I'm most excited about?
The Chiefs.
Chiefs at the Bills. The undefeated Chiefs who felt like they could also be 5-4 right now if it wasn't for a big toe, a pass interference, and a blocked field goal. And then you have the Buffalo Bills. Nobody circles the wagon like the Buffalo Bills.
I thought the Bills was cooked this season. They sneaking around. What are they, 9-2?
Potentially an MVP type conversation now around Josh Allen because everybody's gone.
Man, that used to be a great game. Like, you know what I mean? Like the last couple of years, the Bills and the Chiefs was always a great game to watch. You never knew what was going to happen.
You never knew what was going to happen. Patrick Mahomes comes out, throws a pick early. Amari Cooper's making one-handed grabs. He's that number one
Amari
receiver.
Cooper been balling, yes. Amari Cooper had to remind the world real quick.
People sleep on Amari.
That was
you know
a
why?
great trade.
He's not like a very vocal guy.
I feel like receivers, you got to be the rah-rah guy.
Yeah.
And he's never the rah-rah guy. So
He's like an offensive lineman.
Yeah, people always love to forget that Amari Cooper went to Bama.
Yeah.
So it's like, come on, man. And he's kind of just coming in, got back into a top spot, and reminded the world real quick.
Yeah, I mean, the play that sticks out to me, back and forth. The Chiefs miss a field goal early, and I remember texting in our group chat, like, this is what happens. They're going to miss a field goal. Chiefs are going to win by 1. And that's just how this goes. The Chiefs always win those games where it comes back to help them. And it was flipped a little bit. The Bills had a chance to put the game away, 4th and 2, and Josh Allen says, give me the ball. I'm going to go run this in for a touchdown. The Bills took this game as opposed to trying to eke it out, trying to find a way to win, hoping their defense holds up. Be like, no. That's Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, we got to win. We ain't mess with him.
We got to
win this game, yeah.
And they did it. And that's where, Josh Allen rolls out 4th and 2, runs in for a touchdown. For me now, it's Lamar and it's Josh Allen, MVP of the league. Like Josh Allen has put his stamp on this. Like, hey, I just beat Patrick Mahomes. That really is, in my opinion, the threshold.
Yeah,
like the stats can be everything, but until you knock off the chance,
you're looking at the season stats and like a win versus Mahomes. You got to circle that, put an asterisk on that one.
All right, here is the question of this episode: did the win mean more to the Buffalo Bills beating the Chiefs, knocking off the bully? Or was it less? Like the Chiefs really aren't caring very much. If you're the Kansas City Chiefs, it's just a loss. They're not really looking at it like this, the Buffalo Bills. So for me, I think it's more. This is a massive win for the Buffalo Bills.
Yes,
The Chiefs aren't worried too much.
Yeah, they're gonna go back, reset. Because you remember one of their Super Bowl runs, they started the season horrible, and we was like, man, they look terrible. And they messed around and won the Super Bowl that same year.
Last year.
Yeah, and like we always say, when you lose matters. It was a meaningless loss for the Chiefs. The Bills. All of a sudden, now I noticed they're 9-2. I didn't even realize they were 8-2.
They snuck up on us.
Yes, that's why I'm like, wait, time out. They're what?
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel you. That win definitely meant more to the Bills.
The Chiefs are like sitting there like, you're gonna have to see us in the playoffs.
Right.
That's when the Chiefs really come out.
Do it again. Come beat us in the Red Kingdom. Speaking of powerhouses, the 49ers go down in their own crib.
This one.
You had to take the hat off for that. It's a real head scratcher, huh?
It really is because I picked the Niners. I'm like, hey, they're about to go on this run.
Yes, Christian comes back. You think they about to really go downhill on them, and then they went downhill the other way.
I mean, I really don't know what to point to of how they lost that game. George Kittle was out. That's a big loss, don't get me wrong. But it looked like the entire game. And this is how it's been for the 49ers all season long. Like I think they should have won almost every game they've played in. They had a lead to the Rams, blew it. Had a lead against the Cardinals, blew it. And now you're starting to get to a point, like how many of these like close games can you let slip? Seattle's offensive line they're awful. I can't think of another adjective. Like they've been bad. Their center retired this week. Their starting center retired this week.
Fun fact, I didn't know that.
Their center snapped a few over Geno's head. I'm thinking there's no way you're going to San Francisco and beating them. Christian McCaffrey's back. Jawan Jennings, who they paid this offseason, showed up big time. He was the best receiver for the 49ers yesterday. Debo, a little bit non-existent. And then what really I think changed this game is Nick Bosa got hurt in the game. He had 2 sacks. He was eaten. He gets hurt, and that's every time he went out of the game, Seattle scored 2 touchdowns. DK Metcalf was back for Seattle. He looked great. Kenneth Walker III is maybe the angriest runner of the football. He's like beast mode 2.0. So shout out to Seattle. The NFC West has got a division going on right now. Who do you think's come out of the NFC West now? You got Cardinals at 1 at 6-4. Then everyone else, I think, 5-5.
Oh my God! As much as I would love for the Cardinals to come out of that conversation,
we're both Arizona guys.
I feel like the Cardinals fall into that Ravens category in terms of like y'all look okay, you look okay, and then you blow it. And when the Cardinals blow it, they blow it. All right.
I was on that team that you're referring to.
Yeah. Oh yeah. 12-0. I'm first year living in Arizona. I'm loving it. But when the Cardinals blow it, they blow it. They come out field goal, touchdown. And then final score you see on Instagram, 56-12. Yo. That wraps up Third and Short. Now let's get into today's guest.
All right, guys, we have a very special guest on the show today. Former LA Charger, current Washington Commander, running back Austin Eckler. Not just a running back, entrepreneur. He does it all. Austin, welcome to the show.
Appreciate you guys having me on, man. Looking forward to it.
Take us through that journey of, did you think you were going to get drafted coming out? What was that process like? How did you pick the Chargers?
My senior year, sure enough, scouts are coming to campus, watching every single one of my practices, so that became a reality really quick. I didn't even actually watch the NFL until after my junior year. I was like, I need to start probably paying attention to this. I was a farm kid from Colorado. I was going to oil and gas. I was going to business. I had this plan. I was going to start getting into real estate, house hacking, and I was going to start building my business in the real estate world. That was my plan A. And then this opportunity called the NFL came up, and I was like, oh, let me start investing my time into this. And it became so real that I was like, you know what? After my senior year, I'm going to go all in. And so I dropped out of my last semester. I didn't end up graduating that year. But I was like, if this is a real opportunity, I'm going to make sure I put every ounce of my energy into it so that at the end of the day, I can say that was everything. That was everything I could have given. And so for me, I immersed myself into it because I knew this wasn't just an opportunity to play football. Like this ain't just about football for me anymore. It's about leaving a legacy. It's about putting me on a new path that I'd never imagined for myself, for me and my family in the future, for giving me resources that I'd never thought of before. So this was much more than just going out and playing the game I love. It was much more than that. And so that's where that mindset, that kind of crazed, like really attentioned, obsessive mentality came from, where it's like, I'm running for my life out here. And I remember I was the only undrafted rookie in the running back room that year. And so it was just me. And then there was some other guys, and I chose the Chargers because of that, because there was some younger guys and Melvin Gordon. And so it was kind of like a mix of guys that were still trying to prove themselves. I only had one agent reach out to me. He was my agent until he passed away a couple years ago, but I would still be with him to this day. And he believed in me. He's like, hey, man, I'm going to give you a shot. I'm going to help pay for some of your training. So went trained, did all that. Basically, I don't get any reps. I'm sixth string on the depth chart, and I'm just, like I said, running for my life on special team, scout team. I'm a scout team, special teams player out there. And if you know anything about scout team, you don't get many reps that mean a lot. But to me, it was like, if it was ever full speed, I am running for my freaking life. And so no one could block me, and I was always attached to my guy if I had to block people. And so with that obsessive personality and that obsessive mind that I went in with it, like I was doing the right things. I wasn't getting a ton of opportunities, but when I got one, I showed up. I showed up on the field because you can't coach effort, you can't coach heart, and I was all full of it. And it kind of still stays with me to today. So that's how I ended up making the team. All right, Austin, you're a special teams guy. My head coach didn't even know my name until I made the roster. Funny, because he's now my running back coach now. So sorry, I'm going long on this story, but I'll wrap it up here. So I ended up making the team. Then I start getting in on the special teams. I'm making tackles. I ended the season with 18 tackles. But like I said, a few games into the season, our backup, Brandon Oliver, gets hurt. And so now I start getting more offensive snaps. My first ever carry was a touchdown. They start throwing me ball. I start catching touchdowns as well. So like, okay, like maybe this guy can play. So then I finished the year with like 800 all-purpose yards, 18 tackles on special teams, and 5 touchdowns my rookie year. But just by being absolutely obsessed. And that same energy carried into my career now to this day. And that's why you see me at year 8 at 5'8", 195, still making plays.
Washington, new coach, new GM, you're new, quarterback's new, offensive coordinators, everybody is new.
New team name.
New team, yeah, I mean, seriously. How has that process been getting to the Commanders? How has Dan Quinn established a culture?
It's really easy to put a head coach that is with culture, talking about culture, to get his message to the team. Because when you have a head coach that comes in, whatever they're going to be preaching, whatever their philosophy is, that's going to resonate with the guys in some type of way and eventually get to your leaders, and your leaders are going to express that. So Dan Quinn he's actually given me a new appreciation for what it means to actually coach culture. I keep saying this now. If I were to ever want to be a head coach, I would want to be like Dan Quinn, because this man he's about ball, absolutely. But he understands that good ball comes from having a great environment to work, having a great culture as far as mindset, having a standard, knowing what the standard is, talking about the standard. We have Monday, it's called Tell the Truth Monday. And DQ is going to get up here, and if you messed up, it's not about pointing you out, it's not about trying to humiliate you, it's trying about, hey, we can't do this because this is not our standard. And we're talking about it as a team. We're talking about it in our individual meetings. When you're talking things like that, it's easy to buy in, because it's like, okay, you're not trying to humiliate me, and he does it in a great way. There's art to this where it feels like, you know what, like, don't worry, you messed up, but we got your back, bro. Like, we know you're going to get better because that's the standard. It's easy to buy in and to really relay this message of brotherhood and holding the standard, and you don't feel like it's combative at all. Like, you feel like everyone is bought in. So being able to play with that, yes, and then bringing in a rookie quarterback that has been playing, lights out, and we're able to support him on a level, and I feel like he's cool, calm, collected, but I also feel like he's got guys around him that are going to help him succeed as well. So it's been a great environment for us. And we have guys that are on the team from last year, and they're like, man, like, this doesn't even feel like the same. Like, they feel like they're on a different team, and they were there. They've been there. Guys have been there for a long time. I think you've seen, Terry talk about it. McLaurin talking about it, where it just feels like there's a real brotherhood, and it feels like this is so different than what it has been before. And he's finally feeling like he's having fun again in the locker room. Obviously, winning fixes all of that stuff.
Justin Herbert won Offensive Rookie of the Year, correct?
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
So now let's compare the 2 seasons. Because you got to see that, and now you're witnessing what I think is going to become an Offensive Rookie of the Year performance. Maybe.
Yeah. No, Jayden is definitely putting himself in a position to win the Offensive Rookie of the Year. Obviously, we have this back quarter, third of the season left, where a lot of stuff can change. But I think we're in a position where we're going to continue to help him. Like, we're only looking to get obviously better coming down this back stretch. Like, we're playing meaningful football in November and hopefully going into December. And as long as we're continuing to play meaningful football, I think, Jayden's definitely the front runner for Offensive Rookie of the Year. But I know I've seen, the reports, Bo Nix over in Denver, who's been doing his thing as well. How that organization was. They were struggling last year too. They're back in the winning column again. So it's fun. It's fun competition, but I like to root for the guy that I'm able to help out myself and who's in my locker room. So I'm gonna do everything I can to keep getting those votes. I know he's won like what is the Pepsi Player of the Week or whatever 8 times now, something crazy like that. So it's our job around him as offensive players to get him that award.
The Saquon hurdle when he went. Have you ever thought about turning around? Like, that's not good for your health. Is that you guys talking about that in the running back group chat?
No, so I didn't see that until highlights, and I mean, you're just like, that's absolutely nasty. Like, I've never seen that ever. Like, that is one-on-one Saquon Barkley stuff. Like, we knew this guy was one of one, doing his thing, and it showed up there. You can tell he's having a good time. Unfortunately, he just played us last game, and we had to face that. But hey, we got him coming up here in the next couple weeks, so. He's a great player. Great player is going to make great plays.
Is there a play that you can think back to your career, now that you hurdled someone backwards, but I'm sure now that'll always be burned into his memory as one of his favorite runs? What's one of your favorite runs throughout your career that when you see a highlight like that, you automatically go back to that point in your career where you made it? Maybe it was one of the first touchdowns or a game winning or a crazy move.
So the first touchdown for me, I'll start there because it was pretty special. For me, I was a special teams player primarily my whole rookie year, and the backup had gotten injured. And so it was like, okay, this is the time for me to get some opportunity to get in the game. And so this came in this third game of the year. I'm not expecting to play much offense, but I finally get my first ever carry from Phillip Rivers. He hands me a little trap play, and I just remember it was a cutback. Hunter Henry sealed off the safety. I made a guy miss, cut up, and it was like a 34-yard ripper right down the middle against the Eagles for a touchdown. So that was my first ever handoff.
All right, I want to ask you about a single play you guys had this year, the Hail Mary. What was that like? What was that experience like? It feels like that was almost a little bit, you guys might have put the nail in the coffin for the Bears. They haven't recovered since then.
Yeah,
but what was being a part of a play like that? Have you ever been a part of a Hail Mary before?
It was absolutely insane. Insane. I mean, look, we're in a position where we should have never been in, in the first place. But, hey, we find ourselves down. We got to go make something happen. And actually had a reporter ask me after the game, they're like, Austin, were there any doubts? And it was like, there's never any doubts, but you just know it's not likely.
There's no shot.
You're not saying oh, we're not going to get it, but you're just it's going to be really hard to get it, And so all right, here we go. We have 20 seconds. We're chunking our way down the field, getting out of bounds. They're giving us basically free chunks out of bounds, so we keep eating that up and get ourselves in a position where Jayden can finally throw the ball with 2 seconds left on the clock. So hike. There's 6 of us. I'm staying in. I'm max pro for 12 seconds. We're blocking. And then obviously Jayden heaves it up. And from our vantage point, we can't see anything as far as where Noah Brown was, the guy who caught the ball, because he's behind everybody. So we just see a bunch of people go up into the air. The ball gets tipped. and then we still can't see Noah Brown catch the ball, but immediately the most energetic eruption of freaking crowd that I've ever been a part of, and just towels and the whole sideline running onto the field, and it was just this amazing like moment where like, I guess he got it, like let's go, like you can see the
y'all running down, looking at the jumbotron,
yeah, exactly, look it up, like oh, did he do it? Yeah, and we just obviously start going wild. But I think I'll remember most is definitely everyone just running on, basically storming the field, and just this moment of just like I feel like the whole city was just cheering, right? At home game, for Washington over the Bears. Like it was definitely something to help keep bringing the city together.
All right, Austin. So something we do here, and usually we fight about it every week, but this week we kind of came to an amicable decision. We're going to do a start bench cut. We got 3 quarterbacks for you. Ready? Joe Burrow, Jalen Hurts, Justin Herbert. Go.
We're gonna start Jalen Hurts. We're gonna bench Herbert, and we're gonna cut Burrow. There's a reason all those guys getting paid $50 million a year. Maybe even more. I think it is more. But like those guys are great. Like so, I mean, you're talking about some of the best quarterbacks in the league. So obviously, if you have them as your starter in any team, like you're gonna have a chance.
All right. So outlook for the rest of the season: the Commanders get to where they want to get to if.
Well, I don't want to give you the cliche answer, but the cliche answer
give me the coach speak. 3rd down, turnovers.
We got to
execute the red zone.
I could talk about the fundamentals of football, which obviously we have to do well there. It comes down to, continuing to play consistent, making sure we're in the right spot, right time, and making plays. So for us, it's going to, if you look at any of the stats, it'll come down to us taking care of the football.
All right, so that wraps up our guest today, Austin Eckler, Washington Commanders. Good luck on this playoff run, man. We really appreciate you sitting down with us. You may get roasted in the comments for your start bench cut. I've been getting crushed the last few weeks, so just welcome to the club. AJ never gets it wrong, apparently.
Ever.
But good luck the rest of the season, man. Thanks for coming on.
Appreciate you.
I appreciate it, boys. And hey, look, if people didn't have opinions, sports wouldn't be as fun. So, let them think what they want to. Everyone has their own. But I appreciate you guys, and best of luck with the podcast going forward.
Here on Air It Out, the only way to air it out is by taking a big look downfield. So as we look downfield, we're going to talk about some of the matchups we're excited to see.
Yeah, as the season starts progressing, these games get more and more important. There's going to be none more important than Monday night next week. Ravens, Chargers.
You talk about the Ravens needing to change the narrative and control their own destiny. You got a primetime game versus the Chargers coming off a big win last week.
I'm going Ravens.
Yes.
I'm just waiting for the Chargers to come back down to reality. And maybe, I'm starting to buy into how corny Jim Harbaugh is, post-game speech to the team, and his guys love him. So maybe corny is the way. He had his players high-fiving each other. Everyone go high-five somebody, and they all walk around and they give high fives. Exactly. And they sing songs like he's a jolly good fellow.
Yeah, camaraderie.
I'm like, camaraderie is a real thing. So I think the Chargers keep it closer than we think.
Mm-hmm. I just feel like, in contrast to what everyone says about Lamar folding the playoffs, I feel like prime time Lamar turns up.
Oh, he did everything he needed to do in this last game. So there's no questions there. We both got Ravens winning this one.
All right, Thursday night. I know you go to every Thursday night game. Steelers, Browns. Who you got? Matter of fact, who's starting right now in Cleveland?
Cleveland is Jameis.
Browns win this game. Yeah. Thursday night, home game is Jameis Winston. Yeah.
You think the Browns are going to win?
I think Jameis Winston is going to win, yes. Yes, and I cannot wait to see the clip of what pregame speech he comes out with. I can't wait for it.
You know what?
That's going to happen. Yeah.
No. I'm with the Browns. I'm with the Browns.
Do it.
I'm getting crazy.
Yes.
I picked the Browns to win the AFC North this year. I believe in the team.
Yes. And you was about to have them lose at home on prime time. Yes, the Browns.
I didn't think the Steelers were going to make the playoffs. I didn't think the Steelers were going to win more than half their games.
Yeah, and here we are.
So it's time that things start to happen the way I predicted them to happen.
Yes.
I can't afford for the Browns not to win this game. It is time to talk about the last game that we're looking forward to this week. It is the Arizona Cardinals.
Cardinals win. What are they playing?
Seattle Seahawks. We were just hyping up. Geno got that big win.
Yeah, and I was also just saying I would love for the Cardinals to win out. So where's the game at?
The game is in Seattle. 12th man, tough place to play. Arizona Cardinals are playing their best football of the season.
Uh-huh.
They rolled the Jets, had a nice little bye week. They rested up. Physical, running the ball. James Conner running angry. Marvin Harrison Jr. coming into his own. Trey McBride, tight end. He's playing great. The defense, who I was skeptical of. This is what I'm scared of if I'm an Arizona Cardinals fan. I didn't think the defense had the pieces to compete. They are playing harder than any team they play this year. Jonathan Gannon, Rawless, their defensive coordinator, deserve a lot of props for that. And they have this dude, Budda Baker. Budda Baker.
I love Budda Baker.
Is the Tasmanian devil of the NFL. I'm not going to say he's the MVP. Tasmanian devil of the NFL.
Well, he gives me a lot of user picks on Madden, so I've always been a fan of Budda Baker.
Budda Baker, dog.
Yeah.
He's playing out of his mind. That defense is playing.
Matter of fact, he's playing DK this weekend.
Oh, no. I was there at that game.
When he got walked down?
Yeah, we beat them, though.
Yeah.
We beat them, though.
And I think they're going to do it again. So we got Ravens W, Jameis W, and the Cardinals W.
It's a clean sweep for me and you.
Yeah, hopefully. We're going to find out here in a minute. Let me know what y'all think down in the comments. I don't think there's ever going to be a time where we go 3 for 3 on the green here. Had to convince him on the Browns, though. Had to convince him. All right, boys, that's it for this episode of Air It Out. We took a little break, but we back. Let us know about start, bench, cut, because that was a tough choice right there. Them 3 quarterbacks, that was a tough choice there. Let us know who y'all liked. Let us know what games you're excited to see this week. And let us know if you think our predictions are going to be right on our 3 sweep.
We will see you guys next week. We got another great show in store for you.
And let me know who y'all want to see on the show. For now, in the comments, shares, likes, stay beautiful.